Hello, this is Pepe and Angela Ramnath from the Pepe Ramnath International. We are so happy that you have taken the challenge to be a part of this mentoring program. We want to spend some time today to talk to you a little bit about how to write a vision, how to understand your purpose in life, and to establish a mission in your life. You know, what is vision? When you ask the question, what is vision? Really, vision is an internal picture. It's a picture that you see in your mind's eye. You alone can actually see this, but it's a picture of a future that you prefer to be living in, but you also want others to live in it. You know, when we look at the life of people like Dr. Martin Luther King, or people like Mahatma Gandhi or Mother Teresa, or you even look at Walt Disney. I remember Walt Disney, the story that was told about him was that he went into this open, empty field somewhere out in Orlando, Florida. He sat in a chair and he began to whisper and he began to talk within himself, and he was laughing and he was so excited about the thing that he was actually seeing. He was enjoying Splash Mountain. He was already in the vision. But you see, Walt Disney didn't just want himself to see this vision. He did not want himself alone to be enjoying this future. He wanted the world to do so. So what did he do? He wrote it down in a piece of paper. And this is what the scriptures even actually tells us, that we might need to write our vision and write it plain in tablets so that people would read it and they would run with it. Angela, would you tell us a little bit about what the people are going to also experience here at this mentoring program?
Well, we're trying to start with the basics and we'll move on from there, which is vision.
Yes.
Getting a vision for your life. And why do you write a vision down? I was thinking back to Mary and Martha when Jesus was there at their house, and Mary was at Jesus' feet, like she always was, learning from him. Martha went to the kitchen, she was cooking and she was working and all of that. And Mary went to Jesus and said, Martha's working, she shouldn't be doing that. So at the end, Jesus went to Martha and he said, Martha, why were you doing all of this? Only a few things are necessary. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do all these things. You have to live life intentionally. You have to weed out the things that are bad for you, the things that are taking away your time, and you need to do only the things that are important, because only those things will count towards your vision for your life. Wow. So you need to be valuable, and you have to develop that valuable thing in you so others may want to glean from what you have.
Yes. You know, when we add value to our lives, people pursue us. You know, the key to leadership is actually adding value to your life. So when you add value to your life, the world will send for you. You know the story about the oyster that sinks itself into a community and stays in that community loyally. It doesn't matter what comes and what goes, the debris that flies around, the parasites that are within that waters. That particular oyster remains faithful in there. And when you're faithful to a community, there's so much things that you can learn that you would add value to your life. It is this value now that creates inside of this, or makes inside of this oyster, a beautiful pearl. Then people will come from near and far because they want to see this pearl. They want to touch this pearl. And these pearls are actually now valued millions and millions of dollars. So if we can actually continue, like Angela was saying previously, to find ways to add values to our lives, by being in this mentoring program, you are actually pursuing value for your life. And this value will make you become as expensive as that pearl.
And the Proverbs say, without a vision, the people perish.
Yes.
So if you don't have a vision, that's when you could become poor. And you don't want to become poor, so you have to get a vision.
Wow. You know, vision also does something that is incredible. Vision makes your voice be known beyond the grave. I mean, every one of us one day have to face this one thing that is called death. We're going to leave this earth, but we can leave a message behind. And that message is the message that will leave the values that are inside of you. You know, you look at this piece of fossil over here. This fossil that is on this rock is probably millions of years old. But yet, this fossil was a living, breathing animal that decided that it's going to write its vision clear in tablets and leave it for the generation that is yet to come. So now we know information about this particular fossil because it wrote its vision down in a rock. And in that rock now, we can now take information, and this information now can be valuable to us, because if we can trace our past, we can definitely see our future.
I wanted to add to that. If you want to be successful, and this is quoting from Dr. Miles Monroe, he says, if you want to be successful, do not chase after success or seek success, but seek to become a person of value. Like I said earlier, master one thing. Become the master of one thing that will serve the world, that will serve your gift to the world, and run with that until you develop it properly.
Vision is seeing the future before it actually arrives in your present. Let me say this again one more time, because this is where we're going to be spending a lot of time. Vision is actually seeing the future before it arrives in your present. Now, the Bible also tells us in the book of Habakkuk that it is for an appointed time. So what you're seeing now, don't be in a rush. Don't be discouraged that it's not happening tomorrow, because vision is never designed to actually happen in the tomorrow. It will take a very long time for it to happen. But the process between seeing it from here and working towards the end product of it is very exciting. In the middle of all of that, you're gonna have goals that is established to fulfill, part and parcel of that vision, coming closer to the vision. And then there are missions that are going to be coming out of your vision. Your mission really is the general work where you take what is synthesized in the laboratory of your mind, small, and take it into the nations of this world. So, a television equipment was actually in your mind before it came into the world. It was in the mind of the creator before it came in your living room. So it will take some time. This mission itself has to end up in the living room of many around the world. People are depending on what you see. The more you see, the more you need to write down. And the more you write it down and make it very clear, then it's easier to propagate this particular vision that you have to the nations.
And when you become valuable like that, and if you develop that one gift, people will send for it all over the world, and that's how you'll become rich. That's what God wants. He wants you to develop that one thing that makes you valuable to the world.
Yes. Listen, we were designed to see naturally into the future because God gave us something that's called imagination. Our imagination is the compartment of our mind that is able to see the vision. The more you use your imagination, the better you are able to see a vision. And that's why God gave us this natural ability to imagine. It does not cost you anything to dream. To dream, it is free. To dream, it is free. So if it is free, if I were you, I would not dream something small. I would dream something large because it is free. And then I would walk myself into this dream that I see.
You need to know your worth. When you know your worth, then you can start running with that vision. So find out your worth really fast and work on it, develop it, and go as far as you can with that.
Yes. I remember many years ago when we talked about a laboratory in New York. And this here is actually one of the beakers, the funnels that we have actually bought maybe about 10 years before we started the laboratory, maybe longer than that as well. Mm-hmm. But we bought it and we kept it in the apartment in New York. And this is the original one. I'm so happy that I have this one with me. But this here is evidence of how powerful a vision is. We bought these equipment, we left it in the apartment for over 10 years until we moved to Florida and started the laboratory. When you have a vision, you begin to buy equipment piece by piece and don't even know why you're actually doing it. Now this became a major part of the microbiological part of our laboratory. Write the vision down, make it plain, because this is what God wants for you.
And if the vision is from God, it will be challenged. It will be tested. And if you fail during that time and you put the idea away or it disintegrates, then it was not from God. Because with vision, you will have trials and you will have all these things coming against you. Like even with the lab, we did have the lab for 25 years. We did have a lot of challenges, and we were tested and tried a lot, and we went up and down with finances and difficulty and all of that. But because it was from God, it stood, And after 25 years, we were able to sell it for a real good profit. So it became profitable. So continue to pursue that vision. Buy the equipment and keep it until you see it come to pass. Because if it's from God, it will come to pass and it will stay and it will live on for as long as you allow it to live on. And you will be prosperous with it.
One of the best ways in defeating depression and defeating things that offends you is to have a vision. Because if you don't have a vision for your life, you will continually relive your past. And you don't want to do that. You know, depression really is seeing things in the past and never coming out in the future. So in order for you to destroy this thing that is called depression, you must see beyond your past and look into the future. So therefore, the cure to depression is seeing into the future. What is seeing into the future? Seeing into the future is your vision.
Another thing about vision that Dr. Miles Monroe talked about is vision is something that you're willing to die for.
Yes.
If you're willing to give your life for this thing and do it until you die, then that's a vision from God. That's a vision. When you're willing to spend your whole life developing this thing and doing it. Like Nelson Mandela and like Dr. Martin Luther King and all those people, that Mahatma Gandhi and every one of them who had vision, they actually spent their whole lives doing out their vision. And that's true vision as well.
When you look at the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King had one of the weirdest dreams that you could think of. He saw equality in the middle of segregation.
Yes.
He saw unity in the middle of division.
Yes.
But yet, because of this vision that he has, he was driven by it. I mean, they burned his house down. They tried to kill him so many times. He was shot. There were so many things that happened to this man, but his vision kept him alive. Vision really is living in the unseen until it becomes seen. Now, this type of thinking, however, immediately trains our subconscious mind. It trains our subconscious mind, and this is where depression itself lodges. We can actually, if we can see things in the future, it can rewrite our history. It can rewrite things in our subconscious mind and create happiness again one more time in our lives. I'm telling you, vision is going to bring you alive. This is why you need to write the vision and make it plain. I am so excited about you being part of this mentoring program because your life is coming alive with great excitement, with great happiness and joy returning to you.
So start thinking about this thing that's been bothering you all these years. Start thinking about all these things as how you can become a solution to this world. And do it. Don't think about money, but do it because God gave it to you to do. And don't worry about the money. It will come. God will send it to you. But get your pen and your paper and write that vision down first. Pray about it. God says the plan.
Yes.
So you must have a plan for your life. You must do it and run with that vision and see it, and don't give up until it comes to pass.
Whenever you have a vision, there will be provision. I remember making plans to go to the university to do my degrees. I had not even a dime, but I had a vision for an education. And when you have a vision for an education, provision will actually come. Look at these things like inspiration and expiration. You know, you were created and designed by God. He inspired you with His life in you. To inspire means to blow everything that is inside of one into another. So what did God do? He blew into us and we blew up like a balloon. So we were inspired with God. Now it is our time to expire to the people what was inspired in us. Vision will bring inspiration while you expires into the community.
So dream and dream big.
We will see you on the top.
Yes.
Thank you so much. God bless you.